know what the word tenacious means? Let me try and say it in a sentence for you. She is such a tenacious student that she revised her homework 3 times until she knew it was perfect. So yes, tenacious means someone who's determined, stubborn, someone who doesn't quit or give up easily. Hello everyone, I'm Kathleen Pelley. Welcome to Journey with Story. Today's story is a tale from Norway about a little old lady who is very tenacious. Let's listen and hear in what way she is tenacious. And thanks to all of our tenacious listeners who have not given up on rating, reviewing and sharing our podcast with others. If you haven't already done so, do take a moment to rate, review and share our podcast today. Now, let's take a journey with the little old woman and the north wind. Once upon a time, there was a little old woman who wanted to bake a loaf of bread. So she hurried off to the miller and bought a bowl of flour and returned home eager to start her baking. But just as she neared her house, the north wind whisked by and blew her flour to the 4 corners of the world. The little old woman was most perplexed at such a stroke of bad luck, but she took another coin from her purse and set off once more to buy another bowl of flour from the miller. As she neared her house again, she held the bowl very tight and very close, carefully protecting it. But the north wind blustered by right by her and scattered the flour to the 4 corners of the world. Now the little old woman was most annoyed and determined not to give up her quest to bake a loaf of bread. So she took another coin from her purse and went back to buy another bowl of flour from the miller. But on her way home, everything happened as before, and the north wind gushed by her, scattering the flour to the 4 corners of the world. "Enough!" declared the little old woman. "Now I will just go myself to the north wind and demand that he give me back my 3 bowls of flour." So off she marched. She walked a very long way until she came to a mountain top, where she found the north wind. "How are you?" asked the little old woman.
"Oh, quite fine, thank you," replied the north wind. "What might I do for you, dear lady?"
"I would like to ask you to return the 3 bowls of flour that you blew away."
"Oh, I am sorry, dear lady," said the north wind, "but I am afraid I cannot do that, for I have blown those bowls of flour to the 4 corners of the world. But I will give you something so that you will never be hungry again. Here is my magic tablecloth. Whenever you say to it, 'Cloth, spread yourself,' it will be covered with the finest food and drink you can imagine." The little old woman thanked the north wind for his kindness, took the magic tablecloth and started back home. Now, since she had not slept for such a long time, she decided to spend the night at a nearby inn along the way. Once she was settled in her room, she laid out her magic tablecloth, saying, "Cloth, spread yourself." Immediately the cloth was covered with a sumptuous feast, the likes of which she had never seen in her life. As she began to eat, the smells of all these delicious dishes wafted under her door as the innkeeper was walking by. So he peeked through the keyhole, and when he spied the tablecloth, he decided that he must have it for himself. He waited until the little old woman was sound asleep in her bed, and then he sneaked into her room, took the tablecloth, and hid it in his cupboard.
The next morning, the little old woman was distraught to find her magic tablecloth was missing. "What a calamity!" she cried. "But I must simply go back to the North Wind and tell him what has happened." So back she went to the mountain top, where the North Wind stayed, and she told him how her magic tablecloth must have been stolen.
"Oh, do not worry," said the North Wind. "I will give you my magic staff. All you have to do is to return to the inn and say, 'Staff, dance.' The staff will then dance on the toes of the thief who stole your magic tablecloth."
The little old woman thanked the North Wind for his kindness and once more returned to the inn. There she found the innkeeper entertaining his guests with a magnificent feast all spread out on her magic tablecloth. At once she cried out, "Staff, dance!" The staff danced right over to the innkeeper, dancing on his toes.
"Oh, please, please, I beg you," cried the innkeeper. "Stop this staff, stop it."
"Only if you return to me what is rightfully mine," said the little old woman. The innkeeper gladly handed her the magic tablecloth, and the little old woman went on her way, while the staff danced its way back to the North Wind. From that day forward, the little old woman was never hungry again, for the magic tablecloth provided her with the most delicious and sumptuous food all the days of her life. So, do you see how this little old lady's tenacity paid off? If she had just given up the first time the North Wind blew away her flower and had not been tenacious, then she would not have ended up with such a good outcome, would she? And so, the souvenir of this story is... Yes, I think it must be that being tenacious is usually a very good quality. If at first you don't succeed, then try again. Cheerio then. Join me next time for Journey with Story. Music and post-production was by Colette Jonas.